So how are you this morning? How are you doing? It's one of those days when it's not bright and it's not sunny. It's cloudy, rain this afternoon, but it's 20 degrees. And today is another day to start again, another day to do better than we did yesterday. So things are looking up, right? So this is why I came here today to tell you, wake up world, here I come. So you're ready for the world and the world is ready for you. So what was your greeting to self today? Mine was, here you are awake and doing well. So this was my greeting to self today. What was yours like? When you look at your life and you get up in the morning, I know it's not the best time of the day to go, hi, I'm feeling so wonderful, I'm going to jump up like Tessa Marie, but she's ready to go, she's jumping up, she's exercised already. And there I am coming to the morning blessing, my eyes are hardly open. I'm going to push the button and go. I'm not like one Tessa Marie, they just keep going like little eager beavers all day long. We're like this, the treadmill. So good morning everybody, and here you are. So it's a wonderful day, a day for joy and happiness, a day to greet yourself in a wonderful way, a day to decide what you're going to do with this wonderful you, a day to say, yes, I am included in this world, I'm making a choice. So your mantra for you today is that I am living a joyful life. I am opening my heart to joy. This is your mantra for today. I am opening my heart to joy. You're giving your heart something to say, here, joy, come in. Open your heart to receive joy. Literally concentrate on your heart and say, listen, let's get joy in there. You have to see it. You know what a heart looks like. So picture that there and just say, I am opening my heart to joy. There will be times throughout the day that it's not always going to be joyful. There's times it's not going to be joyful. There are times it's not going to be as you wanted. But if you have the intention to open your heart to joy, joy will come for you. It will just come no matter what you do with it. Joy will just say, I am coming in. I want to be here with you. I want to be with you. So you have to open your heart to joy. You have to say, this is it. Touch your heart, feel your heart, picture your heart, how it is lit. Make sure those tubes, the running blood is going through those valves and they are clear. Make sure the valves are not blocked. Work them up and send love to them. Send love into your heart and send that love to go through all the valves in your body. Today you're going to stimulate your heart to receive joy. You want joy to come to you, but you need to know what that organ looks like. Many people go through a whole lifetime never looking at their body. But you need to go in and take that heart of yours and hold it in your hand like something gentle. Picture yourself holding your heart in your hand and saying, open up to receive love. No, I know when you say that, I'm not talking about love of lovers, just love of life, love of grace, love of the beauty around you, love of the people that you see, love of the people that may be difficult for you to understand, love of the people that are not like what you will hope them to be. See the love from your heart, open it and let love flow into you so you can send that love out there. So that's your mantra today. I am opening my heart to love. So there we go. Our morning blessings for today is how to live a conscious life. A conscious life. A life, maybe you'd say, well, it's a life in the moment. Of course, that's part of living a conscious life. Living a conscious life is that you're aware of your actions. Living a conscious life is when you are aware, this is what I'm doing to myself. This is what I'm doing for me. This is what I'm doing today. This is what I'm doing for somebody else. This is what I'm doing right now. I am living a conscious life. I am not walking through a life as if I am a zombie and I'm asleep. I'm not walking through life and I'm not taking it in. I am not walking through life like, here you are and where am I? Am I supposed to be here? Is that what I'm supposed to? No. Living a conscious life is being aware of those footsteps. It's almost walking and hearing your foot hitting the pavement. Being conscious, living a conscious life is realizing your heel comes down, your foot swells. This part of your foot goes down, your heel goes up. That's conscious living. You are aware that is happening. You're going for a walk and you can hear your footsteps. Not because you're jogging, not because you're running, but because you're in the conscious moment. Living a conscious life is the best thing you can do for yourself. When you live a conscious life, you're opening the door for success because you are consciously looking The old-fashioned would say that you have your ears to the ground. That means you're listening. You wonder, when these people years ago, all the ancestors and the older generation years and years ago said, keep your ear to the ground. And you wonder why they said that. Because that is where you get the direction for you to go. Listen. They begged us for hundreds and thousands of years to listen, because that is how they themselves got caught in doing the right thing. They were listening. They would listen silently, stop. They were hunting. They would listen to know if it's a deer, if it's a moose, if it's an elephant, what is coming. And they beg us, they plead with us to listen. Keep your ear to the ground. This is how you get your directions. This is how you live consciously, because you are in the moment. Do not rush through life and trying to gallop through it like you have something to eat, like you're going to eat the day, you're going to swallow the day without chewing it. And that's why I ask you every day, learn to taste the journey. Learn to get into the taste of the journey called life. It has a taste. Each day comes with its own flavor. Each day brings a taste. The day that it's spicy, there's a day that it's sweet. There's a day that it has a little salt. There's a day you can feel some other flavors coming through. Each day has its own special moment, its own special flavors. Live your life like each day it matters. Taste the journey. Be aware. At the end of the day, do a download. At the end of that busy day, ask yourself a question. What did I do today? What did I accomplish today? When you ask yourself those questions, you are going back and checking. Did I live a conscious life? Was I in the consciousness of my day? Wasn't I a consciousness of the time of day? That's what it's all about. So you need to go back and sit. At the end of the day, I do a download. I do a download. What did I do today? How did it go today? What's going on today? What is my download? What steps I took? Just like I was talking to a friend minutes ago. And I said, I have things to change. I have things I want to do. I have plans. What am I doing next month? Although I have plans for next month, what am I doing? So I am already I'm taking an upload for next month, and I'm downloading at the end of the day. What is your conscious living? Conscious living is being aware you're going down the steps. Conscious living is being aware that you shouldn't carry 20 things in your hand going down the steps. So conscious living, knowing that you're going to trip. Conscious living is being aware that, okay, I should do this in the moment. Conscious living is watching something in front of you and knowing it. Conscious living is hearing that inspiration we talked about yesterday and taking action on it. Conscious living is saying, listen, inspiration is knocking at the door. What are you doing about it? Are you taking action? Because inspiration is saying, I need you. Do this. Conscious living is being now. I'm talking to you, you listen. You consciously came, press the button to find something. Ask yourself that question. What can I take from Tessa Marie today that I can use in my life tomorrow or in the next minute, in the next second? What has she said? She talks about conscious living. What is conscious living? How can I live consciously? What should I do to live consciously? Question yourself. Ask yourself, what can I do to live consciously? What can I do for me to improve where I want to be? Am I on the right track? Am I going to make a path and blaze a trail? Am I? I need to be consciously aware of my target, of my desire, of my goals, of my plans. And it requires every pillar of prosperity you can think of. Mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, financially. These are your plans. Which one is you? Which one is begging to come and be conscious with me, sit with me mentally, deal with me emotionally, help me spiritually, guide me physically, and show me financially my path? This is what you ask within. Conscious living makes you be aware of where you are and certainly what part of the journey you're on and where you want to go. This is why you must open your heart to receive love. You must open that heart of yours to say, I want love today. I want to feel joy. I want to get up and know that joy is all around me. But then, do something conscious. You're in the habit of eating 10 loaves of bread, and halfway through one, I remember Oprah Winfrey was saying, I cannot put down a bag of chips. She said, once I pick it up, I have to go. I cannot sit still enough to eat a bag of chips. I would trip over my feet wanting to get up. I cannot sit there to hold a bag of chips and eat it like I would go mental. I eat, and maybe I eat often, but in small portions. But that is just me. But I try to be consciously putting it in my mouth. I try to chew it well so that I don't get indigestion. I don't get it because I've always chewed well. So conscious living is being in the moment of what you're doing. You cannot be having dinner and talking bragadabrack and chewing and swallowing. It doesn't make sense. What kind of life are you living if you do that? It's not a conscious life. You cannot be living a conscious life where you have taken the time or paid for this amazing meal and you're eating with noise from a TV and somebody is telling you of 100 people dying or shooting. What kind of life is this? You're not doing what you're supposed to do for you. Therefore, when you step out into that world, it is a little bit more difficult for you to figure it out. Conscious living is taking the time to eat, taking the time to share the meal with the person you're sharing the meal with. It doesn't take long to eat, an hour. So you cannot give 60 minutes to your significant other, your friend that you're sharing a meal with, and just concentrate on the moment. Talk about it, savor the food, let it roll through your mouth. Let your palate take the senses of it. If you're sipping on a glass of wine, sip on a glass of wine. If you're having a croissant, then bite into it and let this feeling go down your throat to the back of your neck. That's what it is. If you're walking, walk consciously. Don't walk with the phone in your hand and fall into a culvert. No, that is not a conscious living. Or walk into traffic. Conscious living is not driving while you're talking on the phone and trying to dial and text. That is not conscious living. That is accidental living. That you're living by accident. You're living by somebody else pulling the strings of your body, your mind, your soul, and your spirit. Where are you in this conversation? There's somebody telling you, hey, pick up that cell phone and look at your friend's pretty dinner fit last night. Look at this happening in somebody's jumping up and down, and it's okay. But is that the first thing you're going to do this morning? Is that the first thing you did this morning? Was that beneficial to you, what you saw when you picked up the cell phone today? Before you picked up your heart and opened it and said, come, love, truth, come into me. Joy, come into me. Before you got out of the bed, did you stretch and ask yourself what it is that I am inspiring myself to do today? What is coming my way? Did you do that? This is the question we need to ask. Conscious living is being aware of where you are, being aware of the steps you're taking to get there. Conscious living is when you forget something, you say, I am sorry to that person. Conscious living is when somebody reaches out to you, you say, thank you, hello. Conscious living is being aware they're complimenting you. They didn't ask you when you bought this outfit. They didn't ask you, how come you look so good? They're complimenting you. They didn't care about the how. They're looking at the what is in front of them. Conscious living is saying, great, thank you, I love it. So conscious living is being aware of your words, your thoughts, your actions. Conscious living is making sure what you're feeling in your head and your heart is complementary to you first. Conscious living means when you are going to utter something, you have to be careful. This is why the ancient says, every food is good to eat, but not every thought is good to speak. That is what the ancients told us. They said food is good to eat. Every food you can find to eat. But it's not every thought that comes into your heart that you take your tongue and you spill it out, or your thought of your mind and you spill it out. The occasion might not warrant that type of behavior. And maybe no occasion warrants that type of behavior. But if you're unconscious and you're working in an unconscious environment and you're working from a moment of unconsciousness where there are 10 different strings, like you are a puppet of life, and you're letting the circumstances of life tug your string, you are not the puppet master. They are the puppet master. Who are you? That's the question you have to ask yourself. What am I doing for this highly intelligent human being today? You can do a lot for 110 of us, but what are you doing for you today? What are you doing for your higher self today? What? Are you going to let the puppeteer pull the strings left, right, and center, and you're just going to obey? Life is a puppeteer. The circumstances of life is a puppeteer. You have to control the circumstances of life, and some of the times you have to say no to those you love the most. Some of the time you have to say to somebody, I can't do this for you today. Sometimes you just say no, and that person, if it were you or me, we should understand. You are in control of your life, so today is not a good day for you. Say no, it's not a good day for me. Conscious living is making you say to the person, oh no, it's not working, not going to be good today. I have other plans for the day. Conscious living is not saying, well, let me think about it. And you know deep down you don't want to do it, but you go, I have to reconsider that. I will let you know. I'll call you back. That is not conscious living. That is taking the thing and putting it over there, and it won't go away. Deal with it now, because that is what conscious living is telling you to do. Then you're free to perform at your maximum. You take that load and you're carrying it all through the day, and then you cannot function on what matters most. Because you went in the conscious moment to say, really, I don't want to do this. And just say, no, I don't want to do this. Once you do that, then you set the bundle down and you can move into your day knowing that this is I am not doing this. But if you did not say no, or you did not deal with it, all day long you're carrying this load on your shoulder because you haven't, and it's there, it's not going anywhere. And if you don't deal with it by the end of the day, guess what? It's first thing in the morning on your back again. So conscious living is being able to say, no, I do not want. No, I can't. Yes, I will. And do it for yourself and do it consciously. But this thing about taking down, like when this woman said, Oprah, I'm eating a bag of chips, I can't put it down, and I'm going. For me, it didn't make sense, but I don't live her life. So I cannot do that. But I know if you're not consciously thinking of what you're doing, you're going to be doing that. Yet the woman is wonderful and great and the world loves her. But she is telling you what she feels, that she cannot do that. So for me, it's restraint. I haven't developed an addiction to anything that I cannot say no to. So I don't understand it. I am one human being that do not understand addiction. Because in my mind, just don't do it. I told that to my husband. I said, well, you know the cigarette is going to kill you. So kind of not do it. And then finally I realized you don't know what you're talking about because you have not been there. So consciously, I don't know. But subconsciously, I'm telling him just walk away from what he couldn't walk away from. So I was not living my life at the time worrying about my conscious being. I was thinking about this human being who cannot get away from this. So conscious being is realizing who you are, your capabilities, what you can do, where you're going with it, and how you can manage it better. Conscious living is making sure that that life you have in front of you is the life that you really, really, really care about. That is conscious living. Conscious living is not letting the puppeteer of life. I am not talking puppeteer as a human being, you know. A puppeteer of life is the things that are pulling you here and pulling you there, and this one pulling, and the children are calling, the grandchildren, somebody is pulling and tugging and grabbing you, and these are puppeteers, and you are the puppet. But the puppet has to develop an attitude and say, I have to do this for me. You matter. Because if you put everything for you at the back burner, when you go to bed at night, you will be kicking the beddings off your feet and tossing on the pillow because you did not satisfy that yearning inside of you to do the best you can for the best of you. You did not do that. And don't be afraid to step up and take your place in society and demand of life what you want. Do not let somebody else be your puppeteer either. Life can be a puppeteer. Situations in life can be a puppeteer. And we all have to learn to kick them to the curb. But when we let another human being take the key to our life and open the door of our life and tell us how we should live that life, guess what? Puppeteer in human flesh. Puppeteer that you cannot do anything with except say, leave me alone. Puppeteer, when you say enough is enough, you created an enemy. Puppeteer, you make somebody else unhappy because you told them no. So one of the things we have to understand to live a conscious life, we have to be aware of our actions, thoughts, words, and deeds. Tout manger bon pour manger, mais pas tout parler qui bon pour parler. All food is good to eat, but not all speech is good to speak. So you know that. So if you're going to have a confrontation, again, I come back to the analogy of the knife. Flip the knife so that you have the blade in your hand. To live a conscious life, you would be aware that this blade is pointing at me. That's what you're going to say. If you're in a conscious situation, you're going to say, no. This is not in my favor at all. Because the blade is pointing at me and the knife and the handle of the knife is in somebody else's hand. My job now is to get that blade away from me and the handle of the knife in my hand. That's living a conscious life. Knowing when to go forward, knowing when to stop, knowing when to just say, enough is enough, I am not moving. So today I want you to tap in. You see how many things you have to do to live a conscious life? How many things you have to seek to live a conscious life? It's a conscious living. It's not an easy job. It's a constant, every moment of the day job. Conscious living means you have to be on top of it all the time. Conscious living is not doing it for an hour and the other 23 hours are gone. Even to go to sleep is conscious living. When you say to your mind or you say the words, I am going to bed, you did not say you were going there to sleep. You were just going in the bed. So conscious living would say, you know what, I'm going to sleep. It's time to go to sleep. That's the word. So you send the message to every subconscious thing in your body, do not disturb me, it's sleep time. So conscious living is watching the words we speak. What is not everything that comes to your heart and your mind that you flip out. Conscious living is knowing when you're starting on a journey or doing something fabulous and wonderful for you, that you keep it hidden from the naysayers and the critics. That is conscious living. Conscious living is when they come to you and they tell you, you cannot do it. Are you out of your mind? You are not qualified to buy this house. You don't have enough money. You don't do this. You are not good enough. You are not smart enough. Conscious living is when you hear that, you shake your skirt at it and you walk away. You pick up your shoes and you knock the soles together and shake the dust of that person from you. That is conscious living. I do not hear you. You're not speaking to me. And you have to look at them in the face and say, you know what, that's your opinion, and your opinion of me is not important to me. Your opinion of me has nothing to do with me. That is conscious living. Making sure you let them know you can speak until you're purple, green, and yellow in the face, and guess what? I am still going to be a mahogany girl. That's my idea. So you can get mad and stomp your feet and turn every color of the rainbow, and guess what? It is not going to affect that I am color mahogany. So do what you want and do what you want with whatever you want, because it's not affecting this girl. So send in your light and joy on this absolutely amazing, wonderful 20-degree day. Everybody have fun and see you tonight at 7, last day of mortgages. It's a huge one. And we're having a guest speaker, somebody who took my program years ago and has been sitting quite comfortable on the bench of financial independence and watching the world goes by. She's coming tonight to tell us of her journey, how she started that journey and how rough it was and where she is today. You must remember, a difficult journey only starts with one step. You took a step to press a button today and come in and listen to how to remember, just to remind you to live a conscious life. She took a step. I did a workshop for 350 people, and two came to me and asked for help, and she was one of them. 2. They were free to come, but 2 people came. One person came, what the help she needed to get a proper accountant. I sent her to the proper accountant. And then the other stuff was fixable. Hers was a different journey. And I took her on that journey for many weeks, a few years. And she came out of it on the other side. So what I'm teaching you tonight, if you follow it, you will be satisfied one day. You will have the freedom and the free time to do what I do. You will have the choice to come out here one day and teach to another person how to live a fulfilled life, because you have learned something. And this is what it's all about. Make sure that you are in the moment. Obviously, some people are not able to stay in the moment. But when you're in the moment, you're more conscious and you catch the tiny things. Big ideas does not come from big seeds. The oak tree just came from an acorn. The acorn is the size of a small marble. But look at the size of the mighty oak. And that mighty oak lives for 300-400 years. So when you're looking, when you're in the moment, when you're in something, pay attention to the words, because they're little and they'll help you. So sending you light and joy on this wonderful, amazing day. Take care.